Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, That Conversation with Repinya. And I know this video is a little bit late. So we are reviewing tonight Housewives of Atlanta, season 14, episode 8. But I had a busy few weeks and I'm back, so stay tuned. So you guys know we start off with the 3 categories. The Librarian Award, I'm not going to give that to anyone because no one really read anyone in this episode. But Laid and Slayed, I'm going to give to Sonya because there was a portion of this episode where she got dressed up really super cute for her husband, and she looked really nice. So I'll give Laid and Slayed to Sonya. MVP, I'm not going to give it to anyone because no one really stood out in this episode. Let's get started. The episode starts off with Sonya having a conversation with her sister because she knows that she has to have a very serious conversation with her husband. So she's talking to her sister to kind of like get some type of some help like on what she should say, because Sonya's really nervous because she knows her husband wants another baby and she doesn't want another kid. So we see her have a conversation with her sister, and she's just gonna tell him that she doesn't want any more kids. So we see that Sonya gets dressed and she cooks salmon and some other type of vegetable, and the meal looked amazing. So she gets dressed and she has her husband come down, and she knows she has to have this serious conversation with him. And I can tell by looking at Sonya that she's really super nervous because she knows that this has been a sore spot in her marriage. She knows that her husband really wants a baby girl, and that's not what she wants. So she sits down, she makes his plate, and she serves her husband Ross. And he appreciates it. You can tell he looked at her like, ooh, you know, he complimented her, said she looked beautiful, and the meal was good. So then you can see Sonya kind of getting a little bit nervous while they're eating because she says she really wants to talk to him, and she wants him to understand that she has things that she wants to work on. So she really does not want to have another child. And during this scene you can kind of tell that this is really a serious matter. So after she expresses to Ross that she doesn't want to have another child, she asks him if he'll resent her if she doesn't, and he was honest. He was like he doesn't know, because bottom line, he wants another child. And he also asked Sonya not to make it seem like he's just out there and not out there trying to support the family. He's working on their business, and he has to travel to do that. But he wants her to support him like she used to support him when he was playing for the league. So yeah, I don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. But Sonya, she's like she's not having another child, and he wants one. Next we see the ladies are going to a spa. So it's Marlo, Sheree, and then later on Candy shows up. So they get to this spa, and Marlo and Sheree get in the spa, and they're asking Candy, so are you gonna, come and get in the spa? Candy's like, no, I just got my hair done. So Candy is like, no, I'm not getting ready to do that. And I don't even see, if I was Candy, I wouldn't have even shown up. The way Marlo has been cutting up and just being so disrespectful, I wouldn't have shown up. But Candy, Candy has a good heart. So she shows up, and she talks to the ladies, and she lets them know that she's working on another film, and part of her scene, in the very first scene, she has to do like an intimacy scene, and she said she wasn't really she didn't really think she was gonna have to start off doing that scene. So then later on we see Marlo prompting Sheree, like trying to get Sheree, like go ahead and just bring up the situation. So Marlo wants Sheree to bring up the fact that Sheree feels like Candy is not there for her, or is not a friend, and she kind of wants the relationship to be how the relationship was in the past. Because Candy used to go over to Sheree's house, Sheree used to go over her house. Actually, Sheree, they kind of showed, Bravo showed some footage of like back in the day where Sheree and Candy really used to hang out, and so Sheree kind of wants that back. I kind of feel like she's allowing Marlo, she's letting Marlo like push her in that direction, because I never knew Sheree to be so desperate for a friendship with Candy. It just kind of seemed weird. And then Marlo chimes in and she kind of gets on Candy, trying to make it seem like she's not there for her. And I'm over Marlo. I really just don't have any words for her. So Candy, after a while, kind of seems like they were kind of like just really on Candy, as if Candy owes them this. I don't even understand it. I've never seen Marlo really try to befriend Candy on a real genuine level. I've never seen that. So for her to make it seem like Candy's not a real friend was kind of odd. It was weird. So Candy got tired of it. I don't know if we didn't get to see some footage, but then it kind of jumps on over and it shows that Candy's really upset, because apparently they were like really on Candy. So we see part of the scene is Candy just kind of like, wait a minute, hold up, kind of crying, going off like, my own family wants time with me, and don't make it seem like Marlo has ever really tried to be a friend or hang out with Candy. So it was just one of those moments where I was just like hoping Candy would just walk out, because it was a setup. Felt like an ambush to me. Moving on. So in the next scene, we see Sheree on the phone with her business partner, and she's just discussing She by Sheree, her brand. And she said that she was talking about how she built She by Sheree from the ground up. And I don't know why they put these scenes in here for Sheree. I kind of want Sheree to just show us her items now. I don't know. It kind of just feels weird to have her on the screen talking about She by Sheree or what she's going to be doing, when we really just want to see production. We just want to see the finishing item. So this part of the scene, I don't know. I feel like it could have just left out. We're waiting to see your fashions, Sheree. Moving on. Next, we see that Marlo is letting us know that her nephews have been cutting up ever since they got a call from their mom. They've been acting up and not listening, and I don't know, she kind of seems like she's a little frustrated now. And then Marlo lets the boys know that she had gotten a call from their sister. So her nephews have a 27-year-old sister, and they let him know that she called, and them nephews were not interested. They didn't care. You can tell they don't really have a close relationship with their sister. So, okay, so next we see Candy meet up with her good friend Moneta at the candle making place. And then in walks Kenya. So the three ladies are going to be building or making their own candles. So while the ladies are there, Candy lets Kenya know that Moneta helps her with her charities. And so Kenya was like, oh, okay, Candy cares. And since she brought that up, Kenya said when she was meeting with Marlo and the girls, they brought that up. Marlo brought up that she doesn't feel like Candy does enough for the community, and that she's not a good friend. Just the same old stuff that Marlo has been saying, just all the negative stuff Marlo has been saying. She brought it up again, and so Candy was like, she's just sick of it at this point. And so the girls are working on their candles, and then Candy brings up the vibrating gift that she gave the ladies, the little vibrating panties that she gave the ladies. And so she wanted Monietta to see her side of it, because Kenya was feeling like it wasn't appropriate for her to give those gifts out to the ladies, and when their husbands have the controllers to control the vibrating undergarments. So she wanted, Candy had me rolling because she was telling Monietta was on her side, like, oh yeah, okay, that's no big deal. So when Kenya started explaining, I mean, come on. There are married women there, and how appropriate is that to have somebody else's husband buzzing, them, just, it was kind of weird. So then Monietta was like, okay, I kind of see your point. So they laughed it off. And then Candy and Kenya kind of got serious a little bit, and was going back and forth. But you can tell that they're really true friends, because in the next few seconds, they was, right back BFFs and rolling. So I really like Candy's relationship with Kenya. I feel like it's genuine, and they kind of fought and they got over it. So Drew is throwing this workshop, and they're going to be celebrating some of the contestants that were in the Drop It With Drew program that actually went through the weight loss program and lost like some of their goal weight, and so they're celebrating them. And so Drew invited the ladies to join them, and when the ladies pull up, everybody was just being so shady. Candy pulled up, and she was looking at the building, and she was like, that's suspect. She feels like Drew kind of just produced this part and had someone throw some signs up to make it seem like, she was owning this building. So Candy's not buying it. They feel like it's a scheme that Todd set up. I don't know. So then Marlo, of course, pulls up, and she shades her. And she talks about some of the postings that she has on this building, saying that it came from FedEx or something like that. Marlo, she's just not nice at all. So they go inside, and when you enter in the workshop, Drew, you can see her telling some of the other people, when you walk in, you have to drop it with Drew first. It just looks crazy when I see Drew really trying to push this narrative that this is her business. Anyways, so the ladies come in, and they talk to Drew, and so they all just decide to start working out and doing some of the workouts that they had. And Monietta was there. Let me see. Sonia was there. And also the husbands came. I saw some of the husbands there, which was cool. And while they started to work out and do some of the workout, we noticed that the workouts were kind of advanced. So even Sonia was like, these workouts were super advanced. And so later on, we see that Todd gets a phone call, and he looked really, really concerned. So he got up, took off out the door, but then he had told Candy, get your stuff, let's go. So that kind of like drew some attention. So all the other ladies were looking like, is everything okay? So everyone kind of followed them out to the parking lot. And we discovered that somebody breached Candy and Todd's property. So somebody was on their property while their kids were at their house with one of Candy's friends. So that was really kind of disturbing to hear. It was super scary. Later on, we see Sonia approach Ralph, and she asks Ralph some questions. She wanted to talk to Ralph because she kind of wanted to get his input on her not wanting to have another baby. And of course, Ralph believes that, she should just have the baby. He said that you guys are not that busy to where you can't have, another kid. As a matter of fact, Ralph said something like, you guys are probably not even as busy as we are. And Sonia shades him and said, yeah, you guys pretend to be busy. So they do all that. I don't even understand why Sonia was comfortable going to Ralph and talking to Ralph. about her and her husband's problems when she and Drew don't even get along. So I thought that was kind of odd. So she even asked Drew later on what she thought. She kind of wants somebody to kind of see her side, because she wants to work on her brand. She wants to do other things. She doesn't want to have a baby and then be left with that responsibility by herself. She just went through that already, and she's like, she doesn't want to do that again. When Sheree walks in, we notice that she has her She by Sheree yoga mat, and it was super cute. I was like, you know what, I would buy that. I think she had a She by Sheree water bottle and some leggings, and the leggings was fly. I'm sorry, the leggings was given. So I would buy some of her leggings once they come out. I'm definitely going to support Sheree and buy some of her leggings, because I mean, I don't know, it's very flattering. They look flattering on her, so I know, you know, they may look flattering on me. So Kenya walks in late, and of course Marlo, she's so obsessed with Kenya, it's crazy. As soon as she knows that Kenya's in the building, she just kind of like, she gets really weird. She gets weird, and she can't even hide it. It's like, come on. So Kenya walks in, and she starts talking to Drew's business partner, Jackie. So she's kind of asking Jackie, so, you know, who started the Drop It With Drew business? Was it your business first? And we discovered that it was Jackie's business, and that Drew is just the face of the Drop It With Drew part of the program. And so it's not Drew's business. She kind of partnered up, and she's just the face of it. I think to bring more exposure to the Atlanta area. We see that Manetta asked Marlo, you know, what she said about Candy not being a good friend or not doing enough for the community. And so Marlo asked Manetta, well, where did you get that from? Where did you hear that from? Kenya? And Kenya stepped up and said, yeah, I said it, and I do give accurate information. So this upset Marlo, which made Marlo start doing what she does, trying to attack Kenya, you know, saying all kind of crazy stuff. And I can't, I'm not going to repeat it because I'm over it. Her energy is off. I can't. It's just so negative. Just the stuff she says is so dark. It's like, come on. It's one thing to say something and make it fun, you know, but Marlo really, she hits way too low, and it's just distasteful. So then she and Kenya going back and forth, and of course Marlo brings up something about Kenya's husband, and, you know, says something about her, you know, her body, and she just does too much, and Kenya is sick of it. So we see that Marlo kind of gets in Kenya's face, and then Kenya kind of like backs her up, puts her hand up and backs her up like, no, back up, I'm tired of it. So the ladies go back and forth, and then they leave and go out the door. And they kind of like, Kenya's walking out in a way because she don't want to be dealing with Marlo. And that was the end of the episode. So this episode was okay. I just didn't like, you know, the part where they were like fighting. But other than that, it was all right. So you guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I drop another video. So stay tuned because I will be having episode 9 for you guys. Bye.